Hello, Sorry Cap, Kunsabadimai. How are you doing? True Blue Tie here from Thailand. Hope you're doing well, and welcome back to another stream about our football club and find out what's going on the last 24 hours at City. So, guys, hope you're doing well. It's 1 Parahasabodi, noon Parahasabodi, 1st of May for you guys. And yeah, it's about 12:30 here in Thailand. And a bit cloudy now, for instance, cooler than it has been. Yeah, with a bit of rain, but again, rain in Thailand, till it comes, boop, and goes. It's amazing. Anyway, guys, hope you're doing well. And so let's talk about what's happened in the past 24 hours in our club. First of all, big up to Chelsea. I normally don't like to talk about Chelsea in any way whatsoever, but big up to Chelsea. Congratulations for beating United yesterday in the WSL, for instance. And what does that mean? Well, that means basically, for instance, now it sets it up for Sunday, what's it called, in Old Trafford, very Old Trafford, against United. And if City can get a point there, because we're 4 points behind the Rags now, for instance, if we get a point, we can really take it toward to the end of the season, because they've got to play Arsenal as well, because Arsenal got beat against Aston Villa, so for instance, they're out. And that's the reason why I gave Chelsea the title. So, but to Arsenal's United have still got to play Arsenal in the last couple of games, where City, for instance, have got relative winnable games and now getting more players back. That, for instance, we got a great chance of claiming third place and knocking United out, which would be a dream. But we need to beat United at very Old Trafford on Sunday. Anyway, guys. That was that good news. The other good news, etc. We saw him back. He's back. RODRI's back. We saw him back, and there he was. So RODRI running up and down in his CLO training gear, for instance, with the training guys, back in training. Wonderful news, absolutely wonderful news to see the gentleman, for instance, who's been itching to get back, and I'm sure he is. He's, for instance, been with the guys for the ups and downs, etc. He's not sat in a sun lounger in, God knows where, for instance, in Spain and whatever, and he's been sat on the bench watching the downfall and the upfall of the club, which is brilliant. Which is brilliant to see. So our Ballon d'Or winner is now back. So, but is he back? And there was a big debate yesterday with Lewis on his channel about should we play him, when should we play him, is it too early to play him now, for instance, and me personally, I think we should do what we're doing with the Kanji, ease him back in. A few weeks now, was a goal for the League Cup final, the FA Cup final. Should we bring him in for the FA Cup final, or should we, for instance, but let's see how his rehabilitation gets back. Training is one thing, physical football is something else. And I think, for instance, people talk about Southampton, too early for Wolves, maybe Southampton, and a couple of weeks' time. So, but let's see what happens. But we've got to do it gently. I'm sure they will. But, for instance, it's great to see him back, because the last thing we want, like Oscar Bob, broke a leg, hamstring. Now he's got a minor hamstring tear. So, for instance, it's, you've got to get the speed back up, the legs, etc. For instance, when I go out running in the mornings, I spend a lot of time stretching my muscles. Even if I'm going around the damn corner, making certain that my muscles are completely ready for the running. Okay, so and I'm sure, for instance, these guys know what they're doing, but it's great to see him back. There's another person also saw him back as well. He announced on Twitter as well that he's back, and that was Haaland. So Erlin's back as well. Erlin is back. So we got Erlin back, we've got RODRI back. That sounds good. So the girls, we've got the Levon Hemp and Alex back, etc. And the boys, we've got RODRI and Haaland back, etc. Just in time. So brilliant. So really, really happy to see. I hope to see Haaland. Whether he'll play on Friday, I don't know. Maybe too early, but hopefully he'll get 20 minutes. But massive game, got to win, because we can go third again. We beat Wolves. Anyway, guys, for instance, the game yesterday, for instance, that was a hell of a game yesterday. Barcelona 3, for instance, Inter Milan 3. Whoa, what a hell of a game of football. And yeah, great. And that Lamine Yamal, 17 years old. Whoa, what a player. amazing player, for instance, and there he is, up and down the wing, absolutely fantastic. I want Rodri and Savinho, more like Savinho, to sit and watch what he does. And they had 5 on him, I believe, and still, for instance, he managed to get the goal and managed to hit a crossbar. For instance, hell of a player. But it just shows you, take the man on. I see a lot of Firmino now not taking the man on. I want him to cross, yes, exactly. But for instance, just because a defender backtracking is his biggest fear. So I want to see him. But it was a hell of a game. Goku and Lamar and Jack Grealish all watching. Pep Guardiola says this is what you need to do. Because they have the ability to do so, but they just don't. I know it's okay about ball retention, etc., but still, sometimes, yeah, taking, sometimes it pays off you. Right, so yeah, that was good. That was an interesting one. We got a bit of news about a transfer of an 18-year-old, and I never heard of him. And he comes from PSG. He's only 18. Welcome to the City. This guy from PSG. I'm trying to get his name. What's your name? Oh, there you go. Was that him? Mamadou Sangari, 18, on a free transfer. So, welcome to City. So, yeah, we'll see how he works out. Yeah. And then there was a massive discussion about on the 1894 with Lewis yesterday, for instance. I was listening to it, and there is a massive disconnect now, it feels, from the club to the fans. But I've only heard one side of it. And I think, for instance, sometimes you need the both sides. And I can totally understand. And whether it was my Mancunian, I don't know. Because I couldn't understand really too much about what was really being said too much. In a way that, for instance, there was a lot thrown at you, but I just wanted to figure out, and I think LB was asking a lot of questions. So does that mean, about the gold, the flexible gold, and how it works, and how people are having problems, and the 16 and the 14 tickets, and la la la. There was a lot of thrown out, and there's a lot of people throwing out a lot of emotion, but I didn't see felt much context. So where I could sit there and say, right, the problem with this is this. I was trying to, again, whether it was my English, whether it was my my Mancunian, I don't know, for instance, but I got confused. I got confused, but not a little bit wayward in what I was listening to. But I also want to hear the club side as well. I don't want to hurt. There was a lot more before. I think there was this is something we can do together. This is an issue we can do together. But now I feel that it was us against them, and that is what I don't want to see. I don't want to see Man City against the fans. I respect what they're doing. The 6 minutes protest against Wolves on Friday, I respect that 110%. And I hope the majority of the fans actually do it. It's not great for the players, not great for Pep. I don't agree with the letter to Pep Guardiola because he's an employee of the football club. And I know, for instance, he's friends with Soriano, etc. But I don't think as he says, he supports the fans. But I don't think we need to put Pep Guardiola front and centre because, again, he has to deflect all the stupid questions from the media about it. And he's not a spokesman for the club. And a club spokesman should stand up and talk about the club, and Pep should defer it to the club spokesman. And and because he wants to talk about the management side, he just needs to talk about the ticket side. And I think it was wrong for the 1894 to send a letter to Pep, because what the hell can he do? Fight our corner. I'm sure he believes in what he supports us, but again, he only can go so far because he's a manager. For instance, again, he always talks about the club. He always talks about, I'm an employee of the club. And on many times when he talks about players, and he doesn't talk about future contracts, etc. And he said you need to talk to the club. But I do want to know the position as well as from what I heard from the fans. And I want a bit more conjecture from what I heard from the fans from the 18 about and there's a lot of, they did this, and they did this, and they did this, and they. Well, who are we fighting here? Are we fighting Viagogo? Are we fighting the exchange? Are we fighting the ticket? What are we fighting? So there was a lot of people having issues, and it was the club, and I thought, yeah, well, you can't just say the club. I just want to know who you're talking about. Is it the ticketing system? So let's talk about the ticketing system. Is that needs to be addressed? Many times I've been in a position as a manager, for instance, where I've had to listen to somebody coming up to me and giving me a he said and she said and she said and he says, whatever. You're getting a lot of, for instance, one-way traffic, and you think, wow, if you listen to it, wow. I like to listen to people's court and things like that, and you're getting a lot of, when people actually come along, etc., to actually express themselves. And oh yeah, he said and she said and she said and she said, and you're like, wow, he's a real evil person. And then you listen to their point of view and you think, well, what the? So I like a bit more clarification before I actually give up my own personal feelings regarding of actually what's happened. So no, it's a tough one. It really is, and I want to listen to the football club and to find out what the football club has got to say about what we know, what is important. For instance, what's really going on, and I hope that, for instance, the meeting with the City Matters in 1894 and City. We can find a common ground, and hopefully we can get it resolved, because it doesn't look good on the club. And the last thing I need is certain shape man who are going elsewhere, even though I don't think you would never do. But we just need to get it sorted out. But I wish both parties good luck. So, for instance, right. So it's one put. So Wednesday. So, for instance, a holiday here in Thailand, and So I want to go, but we've got what else? Football today, for instance. I think United's waiting for their game. It's tomorrow, for instance. One Palakasabudi. There's Thursday, and can't wait for that game. For instance, they'll probably win. And Spurs, oh God, you can't have any of those two winning the Europa League. Be an absolute disgrace. But let's see. Anyways, again, the ladies, we play the Rags. We didn't play the Rags. We play, because I thought it was Thursday, but maybe I got my days wrong. You back at Chelsea against United. We'll see. And then we've got Pep's press conference coming up on Friday, Thursday ahead of Friday. Because to me it's Saturday morning at 2 a.m. I'm watching the game. This is the New York Gawk, and he would say it was 3 p.m. and I'm like, 3 p.m? Nah, no, 3 p.m. in New York, yes. So, these time differences drive me crazy. Anyway, guys, that's it for today. For instance, great game by Barcelona and Inter Milan, fantastic football, and great to see RODRI back. Welcome back to the man. Still heartbroken over Kevin. I definitely think we should change our mind about Kevin, and it's great to see Haaland back, and we'll see what happens in the next 24 hours at City. So, big up to you. Have a good day, whatever you're doing. So, sorry, Captain from Thailand, and I'll speak to you tomorrow.